If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. This video that I show you should be something I would hope would help wake up your family members or friends who are struggling to understand that this stuff is all being done on purpose by globalists, large organizations who have a hand in all these politicians who are trying to reshape the world for the Industrial Revolution, the fourth, let's just call it what it is. Transhumanism is what they're trying to get to, which is connecting humans and technology. I'm going to show you the clip in 1 second. I want you to know, I tried to upload a video here today on what's going on over in the crane. I could not get the video up on it. I put it up on the website. I put 2 new videos up over there. I definitely recommend everybody go over there and check out the website if you haven't, but I just want to let you know they're up there. And I don't think I'm going to be able to discuss the stuff going on in the crane over here, just like the 1-9er stuff. I'm going to try, obviously. It's something I want to talk about, but the censorship is just unbelievable. Actually, yesterday, CNN even put out an article talking about how there needs to be more censorship on disinfo regarding what's going on there. And people just seem to agree, and they reference some idiots with no followers on Twitter who post something from, a bomb or something going off from a different war or some, and saying it's happening right now over there. And, they're getting fact-checked already with stuff. I mean, it's really unbelievable. It's just like, you can't use your own discernment and say, well, this doesn't look real, or look into it. I mean, they just really want to police free speech, and they use that as their cue. So they're going to start doing this more and more with stuff with the crane. So I don't even know if I'm going to keep the videos up. I've already done on it. So I just wanted to let you know that's over there. I also wanted to let you know real fast that I do have new merch up. And again, I don't know how long that's going to stay up. I've already had stuff pulled. But I have the Real Living Dead shirt, which is pretty funny, the zombie apocalypse stuff, as well as They Live Among Us with the sheeple. The pretty good stuff that helps out the channel. And also my Patreon. If you're somebody who's looking to support the channel, a lot of people message me saying, hey, you don't have a PayPal. How can I support? Well, being a Patreon helps keep me here on YouTube. So everyone who is one already, I thank you so much. I truly do mean that from the bottom of my heart. And of course, anyone who's interested in any way of helping out, that's a way you could help. Or of course, by joining the website. So those are just options letting you know. Now, we obviously know that our friend Klaus Schwab, who I'll get into, of course, somebody pointed out to me and told me, I was right on the money yesterday when I said he probably has a connection to the Rothschilds if he has this much power. And of course, he's married to a Rothschild. And when you research it, of course, horrible fact-checking sites come up that say, no, this was discredited because the Rothschild he's married to is not a part of the bloodline. All right, wink, wink. So we'll trust those fact-checking sites, which of course just confirm the truth, which of course is that he is one. So real quickly, let me just give you the connection. Klaus' parents are Fred Schwab and Maureen Schwab. Maureen, his mother, is a Rothschild. His grandparents were Louise Rothschild and Melanie Rothschild. Okay? Yeah. Her great-grandparents were Moritz Rothschild and Emma Rothschild. So, of course, he's connected. So that's where the wield of power comes from with this man. If you don't know, the Rothschilds obviously control the Federal Reserve. They control the money, and they control a large part of a certain place over in the Middle East that everyone seems very concerned about, including us Christians who are aware of people who claim they are and aren't. I'll leave it at that. Now, take a look at this clip from Mr. Schwab, and I'll comment on it after, but he warns us. He's so nice to warn us ahead of time, just like they, kind of told us that we need a reset when we don't. Well, he let us know ahead of time about certain things to get to a reset, and now he's letting us know about the next thing we should worry about.
The young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, half of this cabinet, are actually young noble leaders of the world. So that we penetrate the cabinets.
The change is not just happening. The change can be shaped by us. We have to prepare for a more angry world. How to prepare? To take the necessary action to create a fairer world. I see the need for a great reset. So people assume we are just going back to the good old world which we had, and everything will be normal again. This is, let's say, fiction. It will not happen. Pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
I'm glad he let us know about that in advance because, wait a minute, hold on. I'm getting a breaking news story. Oh my goodness, my feed is flooded with stories about cyber attacks in America and in the Ukraine. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. And even in Russia. Anonymous is attacking Russia. We have attacks, of course, on the Ukraine. We had attack in America on tech companies are under attack. As per usual, that seems to be the protocol. These tech companies come out. Of course, this company has an all-seeing eye logo on it. But this is the story, right? So Claus let us know ahead of time, which we're all appreciative of. Thank you, Claus. We didn't see it coming, right? He's warning us because it could happen in the event that, like, something crazy goes down that he doesn't have his hand in. I mean, isn't he, like, really good friends with Vladsy? Oh, right, he only groomed them. And then the other guy, too. Boy, and a lot of these guys that have shown up at his event that he created, the World Economic Forum, boy, to get to this industrial revolution, sacrifice has to be made, they said. And, well, it looks like sacrifice is literally being made. Of course. You know, the only way you can get to the point that people want to get to is by creating things to get them there. Because if not, nobody would have paid attention. People would have just said, I'm good. I like my day-to-day life. Me personally, call for an uprising, I like to just be left alone. And I'm sure a lot of people out there listening like the same thing. Just leave me alone, let me do my thing, right? Of course, that's not the way it is anymore. You can't even talk freely. But, you know, on top of that, they're telling us to wear diapers on our faces and all sorts of stuff. We just want to be left alone. But the problem is that they don't want to leave us alone. You see? They don't want to leave us be because they want to control all of us. And not only control us, they want to lead us to the pit. They want to connect us with technology. They want us to take their mark of their God, the one they worship, the one who has given them the power here on earth. Now, of course, people believe that the politicians have been elected and given the power from the people. That's a really funny story. And if that is true, who gave this guy power? Who gave Rothschild power to control money? Who gave the Federal Reserve power? Oh, right. But people are too dumbed down and tired and fluorided and chemtrailed to actually care or do anything about it. However, what we are seeing, and we have saw, which I covered today on the website, is a pivot. We've seen a pivot, right? We've gone from needing all of these things done, right? They need to destroy the economy, right? He talks about that all the time at his World Economic meetings, constantly talking about we need to end capitalism, the dangers of it. We need to, I mean, it's a joke because these idiots hear it and they're like, it sounds great. We're all going to be on an equal playing field. Yeah, these people are not going to be on the same playing field as all of us. That's why they want to get this playing field in place so that nobody else can have anything. And we'll all be the same. And then there'll be all these guys above us who are rich and powerful and control resources and control us and eventually hook us up to technology. But anyway, all of us just wanted to be left alone. And unfortunately, they just can't seem to. Because when they talk about this stuff, it's amazing to me that people actually don't understand that they're telling you what is coming because they're going to do it. But I already know, because people out there are going, they've outed themselves. How come nothing's happening? Because they've outed themselves because they've gotten people so stupid that the people are going to agree that this is needed. They're going to agree because of political parties, because of just how dumb they've made a lot of people and how soft they've made people. And they use kind words. Oh, we're going to make a new society. It's going to be loving and caring. And if you're somebody out there, we're going to make it gender this. I mean, all these trigger words that get people to feel like it's about them and they're going to be included. When in reality, they're going to get stomped on. because that's what these people have intended. But I appreciate Klaus Rothschild and all, these people who we didn't elect, letting us know how we need to live. Because before all this stuff happened, the world was a pretty good place. But see, what people don't get is they go, well, all this stuff with genderism, nobody ever has cared. The problem is that it's pumped on us. The problem is that we don't want to hear about it. The problem with the racial division is that they've recreated it. You don't believe me? Go look at the youth leadership organizations that the World Economic Forum funds. They're the ones who are behind Black Lives Matter. They're behind all of these things. They're the ones who constantly cause it. You know why? Because they bring attention to things constantly that are not things that need attention to. They create things with the police and certain people by funding it and creating it and then constantly talking about it. All these things are being done to lead to this, what they want right now. And of course, what we just saw and what is still occurring and not going away, with the, oh, excuse me, I have a cough and a cold, is exactly how they needed to do it. And now from there, the other things that need to happen, because they're not going to get people on board with the climate stuff, with the electric cars, until they start literally doing things to get people on board, just like they're getting people on board now. One of the things they literally talk about over and over and over again is that the climate is our biggest issue. Well, this is pumped into those young leader organizations. But none of these people realize that they're the ones doing stuff to the climate. They're the ones. It didn't just miraculously start happening. It's from geoengineering. And in reality, the stuff they say is fabricated anyway. But eventually, they're going to convince people that it needs to be done by doing things like what they just did to get people, to the point they got them to. Talking constantly about jobs, about there's going to be less jobs. Wow, how convenient. Well, they weren't just talking about robots. What's happened the last few years? Oh my goodness, so many people are out of jobs, and no one seems to care. No one cares about the people who lost their jobs just because they wouldn't do a certain something they were told. Nobody cares. Just like nobody cares about people being replaced by machines. Nobody cares because everybody's divided amongst each other in these political parties, which don't exist because all these guys, as I've proven and other people have proven, are all in bed with each other. They're all buddies. If Trump wasn't a globalist, he never would have went to the World Economic Forum. It'd be the last place you'd go. You'd say, hey, even realistically, if they were smart, he'd say, yeah, I'm not going because I don't hang out with globalists. That's what any regular person who's anti-globalism would do. But no, he goes, of course. And somebody pointed out to me on the channel today that his daughter happened to get an award from the Eco Forum. So that's a coincidence too, right? Give me a break. So now they're warned of the cyber stuff and and they've warned about this years in advance. And now what's the next thing, right? They've pivoted from the outbreak. They've warned us about, this big outbreak could occur. Now they've been warning us for years, which I've covered for years, about a cyber attack. And now we're amongst the beginning of the cyber attack. And it's just the quickest pivot I think I've ever seen. I don't even think Michael Jordan could pivot this fast. I mean, I don't hear a boo anywhere about the outbreak. I don't see an article. Day after day, it was this, it was that, it was family story. No, now it's a quick pivot over to this because now they can get the cyber attack thing underway because there was no way that could correlate with a cyber attack. And when people start getting suspicious of their own government about, okay, we've had enough of these restrictions and these mandates, we've had enough of all this stuff and these shortages on the shelves because we don't believe it. We think you're doing it. Well, then they go, wait, look over there. Russia's doing it. Look. See, because they're not giving us oil anymore because, we made ourselves non-dependent on oil. If you don't know, America just stopped producing oil because of Biden, because of politics, but it's part of the show, right? And our provider of oil is Russia, our main provider, one of the world's main providers, right? So, suddenly we cut their power grid off and then Russia, or not their power grid, we freeze their bank accounts and Russia goes, well, we're not going to give you oil. Well, bada bing, bada boom, suddenly we can start getting people to drive electric cars because they're not going to be able to literally have gas. The price of gas is going to drive them out of the market, the poorer classes, so they're going to have to go and get electric cars because they're going to make them really cheap and affordable for them, right? They're also going to have control of the power grid, which now we're going to see under attack here. And what's the power grid attack going to do? Well, it's going to do a lot of things. It's going to reset a lot of things. And you might say, well, then how are the electric cars going to work? Well, they're not. I mean, they're not going to work, but there's going to be no electric cars working, and there's going to be gasoline shortages. So literally no one's going to be able to go anywhere. Then they could come and press the reset button on the Nintendo and they get their wish little by little by doing things like this. How people don't see that these organizations are doing this stuff is beyond me. Now, if you're somebody who's so stupid in the head that you think this is what's best for humanity, that's one thing. And I mean, that's just embarrassing, to be honest. Globalism is a disease. They are lying and deceiving people who think it's about equality. It's not. It's okay to have conflict with people, have disagreements. I have disagreements with people all the time. Doesn't mean I want to see them in a grave. You can have you have disagreements with your mom, your dad, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. That's life. They've convinced these people that if they disagree with you, that they should be silenced, shut down, and thrown away and put in a grave. And they think that these people who are telling them to do it are going to hold their hand and lead them to the promised land. They're going to strip them of everything they've ever owned, and they're going to go, I still like it, just like they say they're going to do. That's what's going to end up happening. And these people who are on board are going to say, I own nothing and I'm happy. And look, it's not about owning anything. I understand not storing up treasure on earth. I have no interest in doing so. Never had an interest in doing so. It's about giving them control and power. And once you can't buy and sell without doing what they say, which is what's coming next, it's over. And that's right around the corner. Right around the corner. So I just wanted to play that video for everyone out there and let you see, I mean, just how nice Mr. Schwab was, Rothschild, Mr. Rothschild Claus, whatever, Santa Claus Rothschild, I don't know what to call him. But letting us know that our next big problem is, because he seems to have all the answers, it's almost like he created the problems first, and then he figured out the answers, right? Or did he, right, Well, he had the answers written out, then he made the questions. I don't know, does that make sense? But you understand what I'm saying, right? He has all the answers because he's the one creating the problems. And that's how you get where we are now. So thank you, Mr. Schwab, Rothschild, and all your buddies over at the New World Order. Thanks again. Give me an utter break if people don't see it. How much more do you need to see? Stop being angry at your fellow man and realize who the ones are who are doing it. Okay? And it's not a coincidence that celebrities go to the World Eco Forum, like DiCaprio, and that they have their hand in all this stuff because they were groomed as young leaders too. Okay? That's what they are. They're social engineers. I've been talking about it for years. Remember, if you're new to or if you're old for my channel, an old man like me, I used to say all this stuff about the celebrities, and I get attacked all the time. All he talks about is celebrities. Why do you talk about important issues? They get sucked into political topics talking about that. And I'd say the reason it's important is because these people are the engineers. They're the ones who are going to lead the agendas onto the youth. And what has happened over the last 5 years? People's perceptions and opinions are based off of their celebrities. Every celebrity has the same opinion. They all say the same thing about global warming, about grabbing people's bang-bangs, about censorship, how it's needed, cancel culture, you name it. They all just happen to be celebrities and they all happen to believe the same exact thing. What a coinky-dink. Oh, it's based on their politics, right? So they've convinced all of their followers to believe the same thing. And that's why I've always covered them, because they're hanging out with these people. And they're not hanging out with them because, well, they're hanging out with them because they're probably doing disgusting acts, especially Leo, but they're hanging out with them because they're learning. They've already been groomed at a young age in many different ways, but specifically how to be influencers. And they're the ones who are influencing the youth. They're getting their orders from the Gateses, from the Schwabs. You know, the political powers have people even above them, obviously. It's all coming down. You might as well just say from the top of the pyramid, which is a cliche, but we all know who's at the top. I can't say it here, but we all know. Hold on. I'm putting cream cheese on my bagel. Catch my drift. So it's important to know all this stuff. It's important to know why these influencers, these celebrities all worship the devil, have the same opinions, why these people constantly come out and tell you and warn you of this stuff that makes them look like, wow, they knew in advance. Why didn't we listen to Bill Gates? He warned us. He warned us. How many times do we hear that? He warned us about it. Oh, yeah, they warned us because, well, for this reason, so they can sound like experts. But in reality, they're the ones who created it. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the New World Order. I thank everyone for being here. A reminder again, please check out the website if you haven't. There's a lot more information over there, not just for me, from everyone who's sharing information in the forum. I highly recommend it. I am working on PayPal. I know I've said it for years. I finally might have figured out a way to do it through somebody else. because I was suspended from there. And I know you could be like, well, make another account. Well, you can't, you got to put your social in and all that stuff. So I'm not doing that. So I'd have to do it through another person. So I might be able to do that just to help more people be able to join. And of course, the reason that it's $2.99 a month is to keep the trash out and to keep it a clean running platform, advertising free and all that stuff. So definitely check it out if you haven't. It's the price of a cup of coffee. One time a month, it's 10 cents a day, literally. And again, make sure you check out the merch store if you're interested in any of it. I definitely get it before it's gone, and it's not going anywhere because it's selling out. It would be gone because once again, I'll be shut down off of these platforms and I'll have to make another store on another platform because that's how the wind seems to blow for a call for an uprising these days. But I'll keep plugging along. I hope you guys are doing well. Thanks again for being here. Appreciate your support. God bless all of you and your families.